It's time for some NFL draft talk, and we got a lot to get to because there was a lot to cover in the NFL draft. It ended up, we covered James Pierce being selected last Friday, but the NFL draft has wrapped up on Saturday, and 4 Vols were selected. 4 Tennessee players were selected. James Pierce, norman-lott, Dylan Sampson, and Dante Thornton all went in the draft. All went in the first 4 rounds, which was a really good sign for how good they were and how valuable they were deemed. We're going to play a little 4 downs and talk about who went to the best spot and talk about what we think of the spots that each of them went to, because not all of them went to the ideal spot, and you're going to see that. So, but I do think that they all could be in good and decent situations. So we're going to see how this all works out. But I think that Tennessee should be very proud of the fact that they have 4 guys that were drafted in the first 4 rounds, and Josh Heupel it's just proof that of the job he's doing. I mean, Josh Heupel's just doing an incredible job as a head coach of Tennessee to be able to get that many players drafted that early in his tenure. It just seems like a regular thing now for players to get drafted out of Tennessee, and it also kind of throws a wrench in the whole concept of Nico Imaliava saying we want to go to the NFL, because the truth is, again, you will go to the NFL, but that's, if you get drafted, you will develop. So playing a little 4 downs now. 4 downs is brought to you by Hound Dogs of Knoxville. Champions look good in orange. hdknoxville.com. hdknoxville.com. Let's play 4 downs. I don't have the elements, so I'm just going to throw it out. Cooper Mays tells you to hit like and subscribe, and Cooper Mays says first down. First down, James Pierce to Atlanta. Now, Atlanta traded up to get Pierce. So while Pierce has a ton of potential, he also has a ton of risk due to some of the character concerns. I'm just going to say this up front. I think this is a great situation for Atlanta. I don't think Pierce has the character concerns everybody thinks about, and Atlanta clearly isn't worried about that, hence the reason they traded up, and he is at least the type of player that'll show that if you're going to be, I think whatever you're worried about with Pierce, now that he's in the NFL, with Atlanta showing they fully believe in him, they're going to give him a chance to thrive, and I think Pierce is going to appreciate that and respect it, and he's going to respond in a very good way. So I actually think that James Pierce is going to a very, very decent situation in Atlanta. I really do think that Pierce is probably the little bit of a tweener, could be a little bit of a tweener, but I still think in general he is very, 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 very elite. So second down, Kansas City, norman-lott. I mean, guys, a lot of this is just about the team that he went to. There were debates about norman-lott if this is where he really would belong or where he would be good enough to go. A top 2 round seems pretty high for norman-lott. But look, Kansas City has made success out of Vols recently. They've had a lot of them work out. We obviously know Eric Berry and then Trey Smith. Dustin Colquitt was there for years. Kansas City's had pretty good success with Tennessee players recently, and they're Kansas City. They're the best run franchise in the NFL. So you got to think Omar Norman-Lott's going to a good situation. He's going to be part of a solid rotation. So Omar Norman-Lott is very, very good as a pickup for Kansas City. I think that's a great pickup. I think that Omar Norman-Lott would get a chance to play pretty early because of everything that's happening. So I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of Omar Norman-Lott to Kansas City, as crazy as that sounds. Alrighty. Third down, we got Dante Thornton. Dante Thornton is going to the Raiders, and I am sorry to say I'm not high on this one. I don't think Thornton is a bad receiver, but I think Thornton has issues with injury that could hurt him. He's played out of position at different times at Tennessee. And also the Raiders double dipped with receiver because they also took Jack Beck in the 2nd round, and then they took Timothy Malo in the 6th round. So Dante Thornton's going to get a lot of competition to try to get on the field. it's probably going to work against him because he can't stay too healthy. So I think that that's probably the worst of the three. And fourth down coming up, brought to you by Double D Piping.
Double D Piping provides full-service fire protection on any scale. From residential homes to government facilities, we can assist any customer through design, fabrication, installation, inspection, and demonstration of fire suppression systems. With 30 years of service across 5 states and a full staff with over 40 years experience, our quality can't be beaten. Don't get caught watching what you could have prevented. Call Double D Piping.
All right, fourth down here on Vols taken in the NFL draft. Dylan Sampson went in the 4th round to Cleveland. Sampson has gone to the Browns. Once again, Dylan, I'm sorry. This isn't a good situation. You're going to the worst franchise. The only thing that could help you is Jimmy Haslam is a Tennessee fan, so maybe he'll try to be a little extra fair to you. But going to the Browns is that is a really bad situation. And he's behind Quinshon Judkins, who got drafted in the 2nd round while he fell to the 4th round. So I don't think Dylan Sampson's in a great situation there. I apologize on that. So if I'm ranking these, the best to worst situation is Dante Thornton. Dylan Sampson's the 3rd worst. James Pierce is the 2nd best. Omar Norman-Lott's the best. So Omar Norman-Lott 1, James Pierce 2, Dylan Sampson 3, Dante Thornton 4. That is my ranking of best landing spots in the NFL draft. We're going to put that up as the poll question. Which former Vol went to the best spot in the NFL draft? And we're going to say James Pierce Jr., Atlanta. Let's see. And then we're going to add not Dante Thornton. Omar Norman-Lott, KC. We'll add Dante Thornton, Vegas. And then we'll add Dylan Sampson, Cleveland.